Couples who murdered each other. Sorry. Mm. Okay. Ooh. A physical relationship, like some type of benefits. Like what? What are we talking about? Physical relationship. Oh. Oh, so she crazy. She crazy. Okay. 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 At least he did something. Ugh. That's Jody. That look like an album photo. Someone could make that an album photo. I'm not even lying. Mm. Mm. Wait, she kind of cute though. With the glasses, she kind of cute though. Mhm. 4 kids? That's way too much. 4 kids is way too much. Oh, hey, Grandma. I didn't even. Or Candy Cane. I didn't even know you joined. Linda Cocaine. Mm. So she also crazy. Oh, she drove her car into his front door. That's she crazy. Oh, okay, okay. Five, one, two, three, four, five, 5 shots. Oh my. Mm. Mm. 32 years. Okay. 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 The siblings are dating. Mm. No, I think he's lying. I think he killed her, hid her body, and now he's pretending that he don't know where she's at. Talking she had gone for a walk. Walk where? Into a ditch? See what I said? Mm. Connor. Mm. They could have put the child up for adoption or something. You didn't have to kill the child and drown it. That's too much. Mm.
was convicted of first-degree murder for Lassie and second-degree murder for Connor.
Mm.
Initially sentenced to death in 2005, his sentence was overturned in 2020, and he was
What?
resentenced to life without the possibility of parole in 2021. Claire Chick and Paul Butler. In 2024, Claire
Clear
Chick,
chick.
a 48-year-old nursing lecturer at the University of Plymouth, married Paul Butler, 53. The marriage quickly broke down. Butler became controlling and possessive, and
Mm.
after they separated, he refused to accept it. He tracked her movements using a device he installed in her car, sent threatening messages, and appeared repeatedly outside her home. Claire reported his
That's
behavior at
creepy.
least 6 times and made detailed statements describing her fear that he would kill her.
So, in all those 6 times that she called the police and reported, they did nothing? Please.
Despite his being arrested 3 times and placed on bail for stalking and harassment, the campaign of intimidation continued. On the evening of January 22nd, 2025, Butler went to a nearby
Oh, so
supermarket
this is
and
recent.
bought a pair of
2025?
kitchen knives. He then went to the street where Claire lived and waited. When she came outside, he stabbed her at least 23 times. He fled the scene and went to a nearby McDonald's, where he ate before leaving. Claire was taken to hospital but died in the early hours of January 23rd. Butler
Aw.
was arrested that same evening
I
for
know,
domestic
right? Real
homicide. He
crazy.
pleaded guilty to murder in
Inside.
March 2025. On April 25th, 2025, he was sentenced to life in prison with a minimum term of 27 years. Phil Hartman and Bryn Hartman. Phil Hartman met Bryn
Okay.
Underall on a blind date in 1986 and married her
19.
the following year.
Look how big his forehead is. Let's not say about my forehead. This is not about me. But look at that. He looked creepy too.
They settled in Encino, California, and had 2 children, Sean and Bryn.
Look at his smile. That is creepy. Like, ew, that's nasty.
Phil's career flourished. 8 seasons on Saturday Night Live, recurring roles voicing Troy McClure and Lionel Hutz on The Simpsons, and a starring role as Bill McNeil on News Radio. Behind closed doors, the marriage was troubled. Bryn
Aw.
struggled with alcohol and cocaine, and her substance abuse had long been a source of tension between them. On the evening of May 27, 1998, Bryn went out for dinner and drinks with a friend. After returning home, she and Phil had a heated argument before he went to bed.
Ooh.
Shortly before 3 a.m. on May 28th, she entered the bedroom and shot him 3 times with a .38 caliber revolver while he slept.
I take back everything I said about that man. He did not deserve to die.
Once between the eyes, once in the throat, and once through the forearms to the chest. He died instantly. Bryn left the house and drove to a friend's home where she confessed. They returned together to the Hartman house, and the friend called police. Bryn locked herself in the bedroom with Phil's body.
Why would you lock yourself in with the decaying corpse? That's weird. Is there another ad coming? Come on. I don't
While
have
officers were
the
inside saving
subscription.
the children, she shot herself with a second firearm and died. The couple's children were later raised by her
Smelly.
sister. Both Phil
What do
and
you mean
Bryn
smelly?
were cremated, and their ashes scattered in Emerald Bay on Santa Catalina Island. Catherine Knight and John Price. In the late
Ooh.
1990s, Catherine Knight and John Price began a relationship in Aberdeen, New South Wales, Australia. Knight
Okay.
had well
Australia.
violence toward previous partners, and this was known in the community. She worked in a slaughterhouse, giving her extensive experience with knives and handling meat. The relationship was unstable from the start. Knight was controlling and possessive, and Price made several attempts to leave her. The day before the murder, he obtained a restraining order against her and told coworkers that if he failed to show up for work the next morning, it would likely mean she had harmed him. Despite this, he later allowed her back into the house. On the night of February 29th, 2000,
Oh, the
after an
corpse.
argument, Price went to bed.
Yeah.
Knight attacked him while he slept, stabbing him multiple times. He woke and tried to escape from the house, but she pursued him. He died from his wounds. What followed was
See, I understand having problems in your relationship, but is there really a need to go out and kill somebody just because of it? That's doing too much. Honestly.
his brutality. Knight skinned his body and hung the skin from a doorway, beheaded him, and cooked parts of his remains, placing portions on plates with name cards for Price's children. Police arrived before they came home from school. Knight was found unconscious from an overdose and arrested. In 2001, she pleaded guilty to murder and became the first woman in Australian history to be sentenced to life imprisonment without the possibility of parole.
That's not something to be bragging about at all.
Gary Chu and Huang Aimen. In early 2018,
Huang Aimen.
28-year-old boxing coach Gary Chu met 27-year-old Huang Aimen through the dating app Tinder in Banqiao district of
already a sketchy app. So if you got the app, you just begging to die or to be stalked or something.
By Wong. Their relationship quickly became volatile. Gary became fixated on
Real
believing
sick.
that Huang had been dishonest about her past, and his obsession intensified over time, leading to frequent confrontations. On May 20th, 2018, Huang visited Gary's apartment. She was never seen alive again. When her family reported her missing days later, police reviewed security footage showing Gary leaving the building carrying multiple large garbage bags. A search of the area uncovered 7 plastic bags containing her remains buried in a garden near the apartment. An 8th bag was found nearby. Some organs were never recovered. On May 28, 2018, Gary was found dead. He had hanged himself from a tree near a hospital in Shinjuang district. A note found with him read, "She wronged me." He also apologized to his parents. Because he died before an arrest could be made, no
Aw.
charges were ever filed. Authorities confirmed no one else was involved and closed the case. Hella Crafts and
I
Richard Crafts.
guess.
Hella Crafts was a 39-year-old flight attendant living in Newtown, Connecticut. She and Richard Crafts, a commercial airline pilot, had met years earlier while both worked in the airline industry. By late 1986, the marriage had deteriorated. Richard was reportedly controlling and verbally abusive, and Hella had filed for divorce and was preparing to leave. Richard planned and carried out her murder. He strangled her in their home, froze her body, then used a chainsaw to dismember it and a wood chipper to destroy the remains, disposing of fragments in the Housatonic River area. He attempted to clean the scene and remove evidence, intending to make the death impossible to confirm. When Hella disappeared, investigators grew suspicious of Richard. Though there was no body, forensic teams recovered bone fragments, tissue, and fibers from the wood chipper, enough to confirm both her identity and that a homicide had occurred. The case became one of the first in the United States to result in a murder conviction without a complete body. Richard was arrested in 1987, convicted of murder in 1989, and sentenced to 50 years in prison. He was released in 2020 under Connecticut's sentence reduction system and is currently free. Chris Watts and Shanann Watts. Chris and Shanann Watts met in 2010 and married 2 years later, eventually settling in Frederick, Colorado, with their 2 daughters, 4-year-old Bella and 3-year-old
Aw.
Celeste. By the summer of 2018, Chris was having an affair with a coworker named Nickel Kessler, whom he had told he was separated and pursuing a divorce.
Why are these men lying? Like, y'all know y'all
In
married.
reality, Shanann was 15 weeks pregnant with their third child.
And it's always the pregnant woman who's getting cheated on by their husband. Why?
A boy they had already named Nico. In the early hours of August 13th, 2018, Shanann returned home from a business trip. Later that morning, Chris strangled her to death in their bedroom, then drove to a remote oil field site where he worked. He buried Shanann in a shallow grave near a storage tank and placed both daughters' bodies inside crude oil tanks.
So he so he killed her, went back to work like nothing happened, buried her body beside the job as well as the kids in the oil tank.
With an opening only 8 inches wide. Hours later, he appeared on television outside his home, giving interviews to local news stations and pleading for his family's return. Police found inconsistencies immediately. A neighbor's security camera showed Chris loading his truck in the early hours, but no sign of Shanann or the girls leaving. 2 days after reporting them missing, Chris failed a polygraph and admitted to the murder. He was arrested on August 15th, 2018. The bodies were found shortly after. He pleaded guilty to avoid the death penalty. On November 19th, 2018, he was sentenced to 5 consecutive life terms without the possibility of parole. He is currently serving his sentence in a maximum security prison in Wisconsin.
Really
Neil
bad.
Entwistle and Rachel Entwistle. Neil and Rachel Entwistle met as students at the University of York in England and married in 2003. Rachel was American, and in late 2005, the couple moved to Massachusetts with their 9-month-old daughter Lillian, hoping to start a new life. Within weeks, the family's finances were in trouble. Neil had failed to find steady employment, and his online businesses were collapsing under debt. Prosecutors later revealed he had been visiting escort websites and searching online for ways to kill someone and to end his life.
I feel like if you move to another state, you should already have a job lined up so you can already get the income in, right?
Days before the murders. On the morning of January 20th, 2006, Neil shot Rachel in the head and Lillian in the torso with a
Yes, try it. What am I trying?
he had taken from his father-in-law's house.
I don't want to look up dead people.
Lillian also struck Rachel. He then covered them with bedding and left them in the master bedroom. Hours later, he purchased a one-way flight to London and flew home to his Neil's silence called police. Officers found the bodies on January 22nd. Neil was arrested in London on February 8th, 2006, and extradited back to the United States. He was tried in June 2008, convicted of 2 counts of first-degree murder,
Oops.
and sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole, where he remains today. Oscar Pistorius and Reva Steenkamp. Oscar Pistorius was one of the most celebrated athletes in the world, a double amputee who had competed at the 2012 London Olympics on carbon fiber prosthetic legs, earning him the nickname the Blade Runner. Reva Steenkamp was a 29-year-old model and law graduate. The two had been dating for 3 months when, in the early hours of Valentine's Day 2013, Pistorius shot her 4 times through the locked door of the bathroom in his Victoria home. Pistorius told police he had woken in the night, believed an intruder had broken into the bathroom, and fired in fear without realizing Reva was there. The prosecution argued that night that Reva had locked herself in the bathroom to escape him, and that Pistorius had fired deliberately.
The game Roblox. You want me to play Roblox on stream? Bro, it's gonna be lagging so bad though. Maybe one day. One day.
No one else was arrested. The evidence, the trajectory of the bullets, the position of the bodies, phone records from that night, was interpreted differently by each side throughout years of legal proceedings. At trial in 2014, he was initially convicted of culpable homicide, the South African equivalent of manslaughter, and sentenced to 5 years. The Supreme Court of Appeal overturned that verdict in 2015, finding him guilty of murder. He was sentenced to 13 years and 5 months. After serving nearly 9 years, he was released on parole on January 5th, 2024, subject to strict conditions until his sentence formally expires in December 2029. Reva's mother, June Steenkamp, said at his release, "There can never be justice if your loved one is never coming back."
Preach.
See more videos like this?
Okay, so that was like really crazy. That was really crazy. Rest in peace to all the ones who died in this video. Hope your families are good. I hope that if I were to get married, I hope there are no problems in that marriage at all. And I don't want to die. I'm too pretty to die. I can't die. Oh, my shirt. I'm too pretty to die. I think. I am.